Good evening, and welcome along to another big show here on NVTV. Hope we find you well this evening.
And coming up on the show, we will be getting some travel advice from William Elliott from Elite Travel in Cookstown.
We'll also be chatting to John Haveron from Carnival Promotions, and he'll be telling us how his online Punch Judy Show is currently helping thousands of kids across Northern Ireland with this latest pandemic.
And from the archives, we will be seeing something live from singer-songwriter Brian Houston.
But starting things off, some live music from singer-songwriter Gemma Bradley. Here she is in the NVTV studios with a song called Hollow Heartbeat.
How did it come through this? No one can see.
And we'll have some more live music a little bit later on from a singer-songwriter, Brian Houston. Now let's talk travel now, and for many families here in Northern Ireland, the bad news is they're having their summer holidays cancelled due to the COVID-19 crisis. We're going to talk to William Elliott now from Elite Travel, who can hopefully give us some advice and some tips on what to do if your summer holiday is indeed cancelled. William, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So, William, we're hearing the latest from Jet2 yesterday. They're not going to be doing any flights or any holidays until around about the 17th of June, isn't that correct?
That's correct, yeah. Their flight programme will commence on the 17th of June again. That's their planned prospect, and fingers crossed that does come into play.
So what advice can you give for people who are having their holidays cancelled at the moment? Because I believe there's no refunds. It's kind of like credit stuff they're being given, isn't it?
There's certain suppliers giving credit notes, and some suppliers are giving money back, but it's just no one's really following the consumer rights at the moment or the PTR regulations regarding the current situation, because this has never happened before, I suppose, and it's just a vast volume. And each company is trying to sustain their amount of revenue in their company for the future of the company and sustainability, I suppose, going forward. So it is. So anybody that's really cancelled and one has affected, my advice really is going forward is try and move that holiday to the latter part of the year or into 2021, where there's some fantastic offers at the moment and some fantastic, especially for families, free child places available for 2021.
And I believe, for example, like the cruise lines are offering some little extras if you transfer into 2021 as well, aren't they? Yes,
they're offering, some cruise lines are giving you onboard credit, extra onboard credit, or some other cruise lines are offering 110% of the value of the cruise to rebook for later in the year of 2021, or some actually up to the 125% of the value what you've paid, which is quite good. For me, and in my perspective, obviously come from the travel background, it's quite a good offer, to try and rebook for 2021. Because when this is all over, you are going to travel again, the world's going to switch on again, and everyone is going to go back on the planes, back on the cruise lines, back on the beaches and sunbathe and get that tan. My advice is use that, avail of the money they're giving you back, and try and push it to 2021. And they're trying to also give you an incentive to rebook with them or transfer again, and also to try and save their business as such for the future, because immediate collapse of any company has a knock-on effect on the future as well. This doesn't have for clients travelling within the affected period. It does travel into the latter part of the year or 2021 as well.
Great. So you've mentioned 2021. So are there any bargains out there at the moment other than the cruise lines?
There's some fantastic bargains, as I mentioned before. There's some free child places out there for families, and there's quite a lot of them actually for 2021. And my advice going forward for any family is get out there and book for 2021 now, while the prices are good, while the free child places are there, and while the deposits are still low. This will blow over when it's still got a question mark with it, but going forward, you are going to travel again, you are going to go back in that flight. Being stuck combined into your house for so many hours in a day and not being able to go anywhere, you're begging for that to get out. And I just had a lady on the other day, and I had to ring her and tell her holiday was cancelled, and she goes, when those flights open up again, I want on that flight because I'm fed up looking at my husband across the room every day.
Absolutely. So what about, places like America, Boston, New York, are they going to be popular destinations in 2021?
Believe it or not, the latter part of last week, Friday and Saturday, we did several bookings to the States. Just by advertising social media, out in our mailing service as well online. We did confirm a few bookings, which it's gradually getting there. Personally, I'm only back from New York at the beginning of March, when all the lockdown was starting to happen. I was over on a family trip with a local company here in Northern Ireland, but it was across, and it was fantastic to see it. And when we were travelling through, there was no there's no checks, there's no nothing. It's just free travel, free everything. There was nothing, even though everything was going back home. It hadn't really hit the States as such at that time, but everything was just sort of happening to come back home. There was nothing, and there was no check, nothing. And it's one of the things that I was sort of, when we come home and thought about, but there wasn't of that. And maybe that's how the virus did spread so quickly, because there was no checks at airports and passing through. But those checks are now in place, and it's really helping to stay in. And there is flights still going, obviously, back and forth for medical reasons and things like that. They are traveling, and companies are going that way to try and sustain that area, to try and offer their services to the government, to try and influx medical supplies back and forth throughout the UK and the world, I suppose, as well.
Of course, this is a really good time as well for those people who want to go away further afield, but when they just want a holiday right now, so they could put that money away and make it a bigger holiday in 2021, can't they?
Yeah, so that's what we're doing at the moment. There's bookings at the moment. They are transparent next year, and they are possibly upgrading the hotels, maybe adding little extras to their holidays, and maybe are going that, well, do you know what? I'm going to pay that this year. I was going to pay it next year anyway, so I might as well do something memorable and make it big because we didn't get away this year. Like a lot of families are looking now for Orlando, Florida. We're considering this year they're meant to go away in July and August, possibly to summer. And there's a lady we'd actually changed to go to Orlando. She's actually going to Spain this year, and she's put that money across. She got a refund actually back, surprisingly, just before it all sort of did start getting credit was given out and things like that there with Fresh Airlines. And we've transferred that to next year and made it a bigger holiday and probably a better holiday for her, I suppose, and especially more memorable one for her family, for the kids as well.
So we were supposed to go to Prague, for instance, for Easter. So what about, Christmas markets? Do you think that we can look to this Christmas, or is it best to wait until next year?
Well, what I've advised my clients is go the latter part of the year. You have your November, December. That's what I'm trying to push all my clients to. If they're looking for something, a short break or something, because this epidemic isn't going to go away overnight. My personal outlook on it, this will affect July and August as well, I think. And for families, has got that question about the health and safety of their kids and their self, possibly elderly parents or whoever else in their family may have health problems. Look at that end of the part of the year. Look at January, February, March 2021 for some holiday if possible. I know there's people biting out there. Once airports open up again, they want to get away. Like my mother, she was maybe in Lanzarote 2 weeks ago. She's going in August, and she goes, if I don't get away in August, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because she enjoys her holidays like everybody else does. And I told her, let's say, try and push it to November, December, if you want, or look at the beginning of the year, because there's some fantastic bargains out there and some fantastic resorts open up, and the prices at the moment are very competitive because there's not very many bookings coming in.
There might be people, William, out there at the minute who are slightly worried about booking for 2021 because obviously this situation will have some kind of effect on the travel industry, and it might even put some more travel businesses out of business and maybe some airlines out of business as well. The
thing is, everything's ATOL, so your money is financially secure, and any airlines at the moment are giving credit notes. They are ATOL bonded, they are financially secure. The only thing is that a lot of operators are in consortiums, like one I'm part of is Global, and there's a few other consortiums just released in the media just as of yesterday, are pushing for the government to put a protection in place for these credit notes going out to the companies they're giving out, but to protect your money financially. So if anything was to go up in the air, your money is financially protected still, which, and I think is a good way going forward with it. It gives the companies the revenue to work on, and it gives you, the consumer, the right to know your money's financially secure and sitting there. You're not, if anything was to happen, you're not going to lose it.
I mean, you say as well, it's best to contact your local high street travel agent as well. Is there more protection there?
With a local high street travel agent, we have the resources, we have the ability, we have the connections internally within these companies to look at. If you book online, you're speaking to a call centre all the time, and sometimes you're never speaking to the same person twice. And this is what I try and push out to anybody that's, even members of my family used to book online, and now have to come and book with me. Booking with a local high street travel agent, you're not any less off. You've actually got better resources. You pass the difficult parts on to us, and we sort it out for you. We look into it, we investigate it. You go off and do your normal daily, go to your work, time your family. We do all the work and the dealing with it. It comes as part of our job. You don't just book a holiday and think that's it, I'm dusted. It's booked on our system. When you leave our office, we have an admin trail to do. We have to make sure everything's loaded correctly, and your tickets and your if there's any changes, we deal with all that. We just at the end of the day hand your tickets and you go to the airport. There's quite a lot of work behind the scenes that actually some of these guys and consumers can see.
If people want to get in touch with you, I would presume you have a website they can check out.
We have social media, Facebook, Elliott Travel in Cookstown, and our phone lines are still open from 9:30 to 4:30 each day, from Monday to Friday. And our team is now scaled down. Just the two of us on the team at the moment. We have a team of 5, but and we're also trying to sort the bookings out at the moment with 2 of us. But going forward, if things start picking up, more teams on board, more of the team on board to help us out with the bookings as well.
Brilliant, William. It's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's all the best. Thanking you. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Right, time now for something from the archive. We're going to have something live from Brian Houston in just a second. But before that, here's a great story that Brian told me. He was once accused of stealing Chuck Berry's guitar. Have a look at this.
I mean, that's a weird thing. And I got accused of stealing Chuck Berry's guitar. I was actually, this is my defense, Your Honor. So I opened for Chuck Berry. It was 2007. It was in the Waterfront Hall. I did my thing and stood there watching. I'm standing there, Chuck comes off stage with this Brian Gibson guitar on. And I put my hands on his shoulders. I said, Chuck, that was fantastic. He takes the guitar off and he hands it to me. Right? So I'm standing there with Chuck's guitar, waiting for any second some guy to come and just take it off me. Yeah. But Chuck goes on and the band goes on. And most of the gear, nearly all the gear, apart from this guitar, even the instruments, was rented. So there was a guy there putting away the rented instruments. I said, what do I do? I got my phone and I'm, I'm taking pictures of it, just waiting for somebody to come and snatch it off me. And then I said to the roadie guy, I said, what do I do with this? And he said, give me it, I'll put it away. And I'm thinking, if Chuck gave me his guitar, I don't want to give it back. So, you never know. So he's Belfast boy. So I said, no, it's all right, I'll take it up to the dressing room, right? Yeah. I got lost up there. I couldn't find his dressing room. And by the time I came back down, we're still with the guitar. The auditorium's empty. I walked across the stage. The roadie's gone. All the instruments are gone. So I came out with the guitar, and there's people seen Chuck Berry's guitar, and they immediately started coming up, pawing at the guitar, and the pick, it had a white triangular pick with a little picture of Chuck on it. Yeah. And so I pulled that out of the strings and stuck it in my pocket, and put the guitar under our merch desk, and because there was a tablecloth, and that meant no one touched it. And then I could feel my phone buzzing in my pocket, but we were busy selling and trying to sign CDs. And eventually I just pulled my phone out and handed it to my brother, and he answered it. And all I could hear was, guitar! And I was like, oh, it doesn't sound good. And a few minutes later, I got a tap on the shoulder, and there's the bouncer in the monkey suit. Where's the guitar? So of course it looks very suspicious. This one, and so off he went, and I forgot. I genuinely kept the pick because I thought he's not going to miss a pick.
He's not going to miss a pick. No,
so,
exactly.
So all I have now is an accusation from the manager that I stole the guitar. He said to me at the end, I went up to give him a CD because he asked me to keep him one extra. He said to me at the end, when we booked you, we didn't expect to book a guitar thief. I was like, it's so bad. And I went home. All I've got is the EP with Chuck's signature and a pick, Chuck Berry's pick.
Wow,
that's it. That's my Chuck Berry.
What a great
guitar
story.
I've been walking these streets so long, doing right but feeling like I'm wrong, and too many cruel words have got me scared to go back home. Now there's something that's been on my mind, tried to bring it up so many times, but I need to feel assured that I'm yours and you are mine. I've taken all that I can take, getting nothing but another bad break. I need someone by my side who keeps all the promises she makes. Give me somebody I can cry to, someone to hold me when I got the blues, who understands me in a bad mood, makes me feel good, someone to cry to. I've been beaten, baby, I've been burned. Every lesson's been a hard one learned. If every bump along the road was made of gold, I'd be a millionaire. Yeah, it's true, I get it wrong sometimes, betting dollars only winning back dimes. But I ain't afraid to take the blame or play the game every time. And I've taken all that I can take, getting nothing but another bad break. I need someone by my side who keeps all the promises she makes. Give me somebody I can cry to, someone to hold me when I got the blues, who understands me in a bad mood, makes me feel good, someone to cry to. Give me somebody I can cry to, someone to hold me when I got the blues, who understands me in a bad mood, makes me feel good, someone to cry to, someone to cry to, someone to cry to.
And that was Brian Houston with a song called Someone to Cry To.
Now we're going to be chatting to John Haveron from Carnival Promotions about his online Punch Judy Show. Before we do, here's a very special message from the puppets.
Hello everybody, welcome along to NVTV, Belfast Local TV. Oh, I love NVTV, especially Robin Elliott. Oh, he looks lovely. Oh, he looks like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. He looks more like Wurzel Gummidge. What did you say? Nothing, Miss Judy. Well, we better go downstairs quickly and watch him. He's about to come on now, so let's go down and watch him. Alright, bye-bye everybody. Bye-bye everybody, bye-bye.
And John from Carnival Promotions joins us now on the line. John, how are you, sir?
I'm keeping quite well. How's yourselves?
Very well, thank you. So how are you coping in the whole lockdown situation at the moment?
Well, not too bad at the moment. It's only been, I think it's about 3 weeks I've been in lockdown now for, so it's starting to get a bit stir crazy, but not too bad.
So tell us about the Punch Judy Show. Are kids still into this these days?
We do Punch Judy shows all around the place, and it would amaze us how popular it is. You would think nowadays everything is tablets or phones or this digital age, but for personalised, for being there live entertainment, Punch Judy goes down a storm with everybody, even parents, grandparents, children. Especially if we do outdoor events for councils and things, there could be maybe 300-400 people sitting in the audience, all enthralled, which is really good to see, especially in this digital age.
And of course, now that we are all in isolation, I guess, you've recently been doing shows based on COVID-19, getting children to wash their hands.
I was sitting home and had nothing really to do, and I myself have to self-isolate for 12 weeks due to my own health conditions. And I thought to myself, what can I do? And I thought, well, a good way to get through the kids is by doing the puppet show, and hopefully then the kids will get the message more, because it's trying to develop it in a fun way for them that hopefully it sticks with them, and then the kids themselves will start to adhere and stay home and not go out, and make sure, same as we talked about, washing our hands, and the catch it, kill it, bin it was a good one then. So that was what we hoped for as well.
So John, you've been doing these shows over 20 years now. What was it got you first interested in the puppets? It's
been a family business. The company, I mean, Carnival itself has been going since 1991. Father did it, my sister originally started doing it, and then as I came up, I moved into it. I think I've been doing it since I was 13 years old. So it's actually more than 20. I would like to say how much longer than 20 years, but yes, it's more than 20 years I've been doing it for. But it's a family business. We've all been entertainers, and it's just passed down through.
And of course, the Punch and Judy story, I mean, that goes back probably hundreds of years now, doesn't it?
I think the first Punch Judy goes back to like sort of early 1600s. But then the main Punch Judy started in Victorian times, when it was started to go against the morality of the situation back then. It was a way of poking fun at the establishment and different things where they couldn't really do anything because it was a puppet show. It wasn't actually you saying that, it was the puppets saying the things. But nowadays it's changed to it's more fun based. I mean, the show we do now is nothing like the original show whatsoever. Apart from the characters are the only things that are still in it. But I mean, obviously nowadays there's no, you have to be very careful. There's no violence, nothing like that there in the shows. It's designed to be entertainment for the whole family, from very young right up to the parents as well.
Because he did used to hit the wife, didn't he?
He did.
When I heard some of the original stories, I mean, Mr. Punch, the original show, Mr. Punch used to get hung. The baby got put into a mincer. I mean, it was quite horrific back in the original old stories. But nowadays, there's no hitting whatsoever. I think the most exciting that happens is the crocodile chasing Mr. Punch, and that's it.
And of course, it's great the kids are maybe moving away from their computer screens now to kind of get back to the old-fashioned way of things, isn't it?
It is, because the way the show works, it's totally, there's loads of audience participation. It relies on the audience shouting back and the kids getting involved in the show, and I think that's why the kids enjoy it. I noticed, because we've done several shows before where it's just a straight show. And you don't get the feedback that you do as what you would with the Punch Judy Show, because the Punch Judy Show does have that interaction where it does allow the kids to shout out, does allow the kids to get involved with the story.
So of course, if it's live and the kids have a chance to respond, are you doing this live on Facebook so as the children can respond, or are you assuming that they're just shouting at the screen?
We thought about doing it live, but the idea was, we thought it'd be better just to put the video on. We've added a wee bit of laughter and stuff onto the videos, but normally we find, because I have my own cousins and nephews, and their kids have been watching them. They have been laughing and shouting out at the right time. So we know, going with what we've done before, when the kids will shout out and their response to get them to do it.
So you've done the catch it, kill it, bin it, wash your hands stuff. What other kind of issues are you going to be dealing with in the future?
The next show we did was about staying safe indoors and trying not to let the coronavirus get into your house, which was, we had a wee puppet which was the coronavirus, and he was trying to sneak into Mr. Punch's house, and Mr. Punch wasn't allowed to let him in, and the girls and boys were helping him by shouting, don't let him in. Each time he came up in disguise, he was dressed up as Batman, he came dressed up as Granny and Elsa from Frozen. But that was for the girls and boys. That was a wee video just to try and get the kids to understand not to let anybody into their house who's not from their immediate family, who doesn't live in their house. No, even Granny can't come round to visit you at the moment. We just have to stay safe. We just finished one there, was about healthy eating and doing exercise, which we're going out this week for the kids. So trying to teach the kids not to snack on, which is hard to do when you're in the house. It's so easy to go in and grab a bag of crisps or bars of chocolate and biscuits. So we're just trying to get them to eat a bit healthy, and also about having fun doing their exercise. They can play games. Doing games is out in their garden or in the house is the same as doing exercise. You're still moving about and you're still keeping yourself active.
Okay, to check out the videos, Carnival Promotions Facebook page.
Yes.
John, it's been great talking to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, before we leave you this evening, we're going to take a look at some things that you can do from the comfort of your very own home. There's some great podcasts around at the minute to listen to, isn't there?
There absolutely is. So we have the C Word with each episode. Lena Dunham and Alyssa Bennett take a look at women throughout history who have been described as crazy.
The music business was mean, and the air was thick with unanswered questions. In a grimy office above the noise and filth, two men worked tirelessly to solve these mysteries. Their names? Tony Blackburn and his young apprentice, Ricky Wilson. The sign on the frosted glass door? It reads, Ricky and Tony, Pop Detectives.
My favourite podcast at the moment is the unlikely combination of DJ Tony Blackburn and Ricky Wilson from the Kaiser Chiefs. They've got their very own detective agency. They call themselves the Pop Detectives, and they've been investigating some great pop mysteries from throughout the years. So there's quite a few of them online at the moment. The first one deals with a pre-fame Debbie Harry, and they're investigating, did she ever have a close call with serial killer Ted Bundy back in 1972. It's also been rumoured around the world that Jennifer Lopez once insured her backside for a lot of money. They'll be investigating, is there any truth in this? And there's also the Great Battle of the Portaloo, where Billy Bragg dramatically fell out with the Manic Street Preachers after they brought their own toilet to Glastonbury, and Ricky and Tony investigate if they ever resolved the issue.
The tango I'm not very good at.
Okay.
I'm very good at the military two-step.
And how do you do this?
Very simple.
Can you show
Well,
me now?
if you were on my, let me see, just imagine that you're on my left-hand side. You're
Yes,
the
I
you're
am.
the lady
Yeah,
in this.
yeah. I
case, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Yep. It goes rum bum 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 rum bum 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 bum, and then I take two steps to the right. Rum bum 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 bum, and then I salute you.
Oh, hello.
And then you. That's it. Now you try. You
Okay.
take two. I'll go. I'll do the. And you rum bum 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 bum.
To the left. Yeah.
Bum, 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 and then rum bum 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 bum. We come back together, and then I turn and salute you.
Oh, I don't salute you ever.
You don't salute me because you're the lady.
Quite like my role. There's less to do.
Fair enough.
So there we go, clip of the Ricky and Tony Pop Detectives podcast there. Now, some things that have caught our eye on social media this week.
So what do you do if your skiing holiday has been cancelled? You go skiing in your bedroom.
Let's go. Whoa.
So that's all we've got time for this evening on The Big Show. Thank you to all our guests, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.